What's good, everybody? Welcome to Today in AI, the show that gives you daily updates on the newest news in AI. We've got some great news to get into today, so make sure to hit the subscribe button and notification bell to stay updated for videos just like this. Let's get right into it. So the first story we're going to actually talk about is Google's novel AI-powered application that helps users diagnose skin diseases with just their smartphone. So Google said themselves that 2 billion people worldwide suffer from dermatological issues. And we know that people who live in rural communities don't have access to dermatologists. Google is aiming to fix that problem with this phone application. So you're probably wondering how it works. You start by taking 3 pictures of the area that you're concerned about from 3 different angles. Google has access to millions, even billions of images, and uses those images, leverages that data to build a classification algorithm to match what you took a picture of, your condition, most closely to one of the thousands of the diseases that the algorithm has identified within the database. So again, why is this algorithm able to do it with so much accuracy? Google has data, loads and loads of it. And we know more data yields to an algorithm that can be more easily optimized. More data allows for an algorithm that, if constructed correctly, can be more accurate. And this is really a perfect example of how artificial intelligence can make healthcare easier and more accessible to the general public. No, I'm not saying this replaces a dermatologist or a doctor, but it does allow a person to analyze the seriousness of their condition to a certain degree without going to a dermatologist if they don't have access to one. Even though the algorithm is trained on so many images, we have to be careful with the accuracy of this, because if the model produces some false positive where it shows the user that they have psoriasis or some form of skin cancer, and that's not actually what the user has, that creates some kind of liability for Google. So Google definitely is working with the AI team to make sure that this model is 100% optimized, and I almost guarantee that there will be a notice that says that while this model is accurate, you must also consult with a medical professional. But still, this technology is really cool, and I'm really excited to see the implementation of this on Google applications. So our next story is probably the most fascinating combination of robotics and artificial intelligence I have seen, and that's why you clicked on this video. The robotic artificial intelligence artist, Ada. She is the first robot artist to showcase and describe her own work, and she was born at Oxford University. Let's take a look at some of her work. So when I first watched that video, I was stunned personally. Ada's art is beautiful, and she's able to create art by using the computer vision system her creators equipped her with. This includes, cameras, depth sensors, and obviously the machine learning algorithm that allows her to learn from the styles and techniques of human artists and kind of portray those techniques through what she produces, through that unique machine learning algorithm lens. So she produces both digital art, photographs, paintings, and drawings. The Oxford team has not been too transparent on how Ada thinks and works. They even claim that when developing her, quote, "We don't know exactly what Ada is doing, what Ada is going to create, and of value." The most amazing part of the Oxford team's work is Ada's ability to articulate her work. You'll see that she actually describes her artwork here.
I think a good artist encourages people to reimagine and think more carefully about their world.
Definitely let me know down below whether you would buy digital art from Ada or any other AI-powered robot artist. Our final story comes from Columbia University, where researchers are using machine learning to detect dementia in elderly drivers. For those who aren't familiar, dementia causes impaired focus and alertness, and those might be the two most important factors that make a competent driver. Yet, with a lot of diseases like this, cognitive diseases, it's very difficult to diagnose in its earlier stages. So, the researchers at Columbia used data that recorded nearly 3,000 drivers over a 4-year period, accounting for trip length, how often the driver would make a hard break, and the age of the driver. And so in the early stages of the research, the drivers were between the age of 65 and 79. And 64 of those drivers were identified and diagnosed with cognitive impairment and dementia just 4 years later. Now, accuracy rates really depend on the inclusion or exclusion of the age of the driver in the machine learning algorithm. When the driver's age is accounted for, the algorithm's accuracy is at 88%, which is pretty high for a model with so much data. When the algorithm doesn't factor in age, the algorithm can predict cognitive impairment and dementia with a 66% accuracy. So that's a 22% drop. These scientists have been able to develop an algorithm that, with great certainty, can detect early signs of dementia through non-invasive driving data. That is fascinating, and the future of this technology will probably allow for the optimization of potentially self-driving systems to aid impaired drivers. We saw that Tesla crash earlier this month. Make sure to let me know down below what you thought about today's stories and their potential to build a safer, more creative AI future. Thank you guys for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for liking up that last video. It was amazing to see everyone's support. But till now, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.